Hey guys, it is Natalie. It is Did You Know Friday, and we're talking about how to keep our mouth fresh. So, did you know that 1 out of 4 adults say that they do not brush their teeth twice a day? And did you know that 1 out of 10 adults say that they regularly forget to brush their teeth? How do you regularly forget to brush your teeth? And did you know that more than 65% of Americans say that they would rather grocery shop than floss their teeth? That's pretty funny. And did you know that more people use blue toothbrushes than red? Which is funny because way back when they first were coming out with colored toothbrushes, well, no, I guess they've always had them. I don't know. But anyway, when I started buying my own toothbrushes, I would buy the red because I didn't like the blue. And then they came out with the really pretty colors. So I would go for red, pink, purple, then green, and then blue. Blue is always my last choice. But did you know that also 90% of systemic diseases have oral issues? 90%. So a lot goes on in our mouth that really affect our health. And did you know that more than 300 types of bacteria, 300, I didn't know there were that many, 300 types of bacteria make up dental plaque. That's the dental plaque, the stuff that sticks on you. And did you know that many of the diseases that are linked, we were talking about the systemic diseases, did you know that many of them are like diabetes, osteoporosis, what else? Heart disease, things like that. So those were some cool, interesting facts that I had found out when I was doing a little bit of research on how to keep our mouth fresh. But I want to talk about mouthwash because it has become one of my favorite products in the oral line of Young Living. So, did you know that there is actually a history of mouthwash that dates back to the early Egyptians, the Chinese, and I forgot who else, the Greek, and I think the Romans, I think it was saying. And did you know that they would chew on like the eucalyptus, dried flowers, they used honey, what else did they use? They used cinnamon, eucalyptus, they would chew on peppermint. But did you know that they also would use crushed lizard? I don't know why. I don't know how crushed lizard can help you have great oral hygiene. Or they would also use minced rat or mice. I don't know if there's a difference between the mice and the rat, but they would use minced mice, and they would use urine. How that keeps your breath fresh, I don't know, but yeah, they would use pee-pee. Yeah. So you would think that now at modern times we have evolved in our mouthwash, but did you know that there are a lot of toxins that can be in commercial and mainstream mouthwash? Did you know that, of course, we know that on most mouthwash, and on toothpaste, it says harmful if swallowed. And it even says poison control and all of that. If you never noticed it, read the back of your mouthwash, read the back of your toothpaste. But did you know that a lot of commercial and mainstream mouthwashes contain formaldehyde? Yes, formaldehyde. It contains formaldehyde, and it can contain alcohol, which it can contain up to 14 and I think it's like 22 or 26% of alcohol in there. But did you know that alcohol also has a drying effect in your mouth, which causes you to not have so much saliva, which saliva is what helps get rid of the bacteria in your mouth. And if you hear somebody lapping in the background, that's my dog Sushi. He's drinking water. So the alcohol dries up the saliva, which washes away the bacteria, and it also can damage your oral tissues inside your mouth. And now they are even doing studies to see if there's a correlation between the alcohol in the mouthwash and oral cancer. So there you go. And then if you try to get alcohol free, a lot of times there are toxins in those ingredients, and they can actually cause your teeth to stain, which I didn't know that, or it can cause sensitivities in your mouth. And then did you know, of course, The other ingredients in your mouthwash, they can cause disruption in our nervous system. They can be highly acidic, which I didn't know that. So if you're trying to keep your pH in balance, you probably shouldn't use acidic mouthwash. They can also cause cellular damage. And they are now also doing studies to see if there is a correlation between the ingredients in mouthwash and acid reflux, which is also interesting. And of course, if you have fragrance, if the ingredient says fragrance on your mouthwash, we know that the fragrance in there is actually toxic too, because they don't have to tell you what ingredients make up your fragrances, which is very, very sad. Of course, the quickest way to get things into our bloodstream is underneath the tongue. So you are swishing that mouthwash away around, and guess what? It's going under your tongue. That is going into your bloodstream. So your toxins are getting in there. Even if you're not swallowing it, it's still getting into your bloodstream. So what is the answer? Of course, Young Living has the answer, and that is our Thieves mouthwash. I love our Thieves mouthwash, and I was not a big mouthwash user. I never use mouthwash, as a matter of fact. But my nephrologist, because I deal with kidney issues, they really recommended that we use mouthwash. And that was to help keep down on the bacteria and the stuff in our mouth, because as we heard, a lot of the systemic issues that we deal with physically stem from oral issues. And so because of being on dialysis, my immune system is suppressed. Having a really clean and fresh mouth helps to cut down on the risk of heart disease, which a lot of dialysis patients can deal with. So that is why I started using the Young Living mouthwash. It took me a while to get used to it because it does contain thieves and it is very potent, but it is a therapeutic grade essential oils, has no alcohol, no artificial dyes, no artificial flavors or preservatives. I love this stuff. It says it is long-lasting breath freshener, the ultimate in oral hygiene. It uses pure therapeutic essential oils like peppermint, spearmint, vetiver, and the essential oil, a blend of thieves. And this blend of pure plant-derived essential oils have been university tested. Now, it also contains colloidal silver, which is great for oral hygiene, and it also contains, vitamin E and citric acid. This is really, really wonderful. Now, I'll try to see if I can pour any out and see if I can get any, but make sure you shake it up, especially if you let it sit for too long, or if you get it for the first time, because I forgot one time and I just poured it out and it was like, oh, what is that? But because it has oils in it, the oils can have a tendency to separate sometimes, but you want to shake it up. And it says to use a capful, but I only use half a capful because that's how, can you see it? Oh, ha, I guess you can't see it. Sorry, I don't want to waste it. But maybe if I pour it back in. Nope. But it's a little milky and it's kind of brown. Oh my. Sorry guys. And it is, oh, I love the taste of it. But you swish it in your mouth and you spit it out. And you don't have to worry about if you swallow it. You don't want to swallow it because of course you're getting rid of the bacteria and the yucky stuff in your mouth. But it won't be harmful if you swallow it. And then when I first used it, I swished it around and it had a little burning sensation, but after I used it for a couple of days, that went away. And when I spit it out the first day, it was like really, really gross looking. I'm like, oh my gosh. And after a few days after using it, it kind of like settled down and I'm like, what is in my mouth? And I noticed that if I don't use it for a couple of days and I do it again, the same thing happens. So you really have to wonder what builds up in our mouth. So of course, mouthwash is not a substitute for brushing your teeth and flossing, but it is just another way to kick up your oral hygiene a notch. So if you haven't tried Thieves mouthwash, I strongly recommend that you do. And the great thing is that it is part of the Oil Revolution, OIL. And if you are on Essential Rewards, that means you get extra points when you add Thieves mouthwash, and you can add Aroma Bright, the Ningxia Red, and there's a couple of other ones. And if you add 2 or more, you get extra points in your Essential Rewards points. So that is why, another reason why I love to. So that is my Did You Know Friday. I would love to know if you use Thieves, how you use Thieves, if you have any tips or tricks on using it. And I guess that is it for today. You guys make sure you have a wonderful weekend. Make sure it is filled with fun and family time. And of course, as always, keep living the oil life, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.